Hi, welcome to my channel, Imperfect Woman of God. Today I'm just going to give you Bible first and then go from there. Again, I'm going to read from my notes. Also, I already posted a video about the hurricanes, Afghanistan, and things like that. My point of view on that, so you can go look at that video. Today, this is random thoughts. This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 17. For the flesh lust against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and those are contrary to one another, so that you do not do the things that you wish. Yeah, which is very explainable because I feel like I'm going through that experience where my flesh wants to do these things and my spirit does not, and it's like my flesh is saying no, I don't want to do these things, but my flesh saying yes, I want to do these things, but my spirit is saying no, don't do these things, have boundaries, keep pushing forward, keep doing what you were doing, but my flesh wants to be fed. It's like a flesh and spirit thing. It's like I feel like I'm going through this flesh and spirit thing battle going on with me right now because I've been celibate for 2 years, but I slipped up 2 times with the same person. Most people will say, oh, first time is a mistake, second time is a choice. That's when you realize, okay. Then I look at this video this man has. I think it's Transformation Church. I'm gonna look at it. It talks about how, in general, how we are horny and how our bodies want, fleshly. We're meant to have sex. That's supposed to be for marriage only, which is why it's good to wait, because it's like then your body wants that and it feeds and it wants to be fed, and then you feed it and you making it worse. It's like an everlasting cycle. So yes, I have fallen short. For me, I praise God for hours in the midst of stuff. I changed up this time. I didn't whine, or I wouldn't say whine, cry about the sin I've done this time. I stopped myself from crying about it, and then also I realized I had to get to the root to where how did I get there, by feeding myself with ungodly things, getting on people's lives that are cussing and acting a fool, that just feeding my flesh. That's all it's doing. I had to learn just to stay off that type of stuff, focus on doing what I was doing for those 2 years, as to why I lasted so long without having sex, because I did not feed myself with such filth. I've been feeding myself with filth for 3 to 4 to 6 months, just because when you were when everybody had the pandemic, you're in the house, you're not doing nothing, and then like my mom was like, oh, you got this meet me apps, these bigo apps, these little live apps. You go on people's live, they're talking about stuff that's nasty. They're just, it's plenty of, full of filth, to be honest, full of filth. Now some of them do talk about things that are somewhat good, but not really, But then some people do talk about some real life stuff also. They open my eyes and let people see how people really are, how they truly are within, through these live apps. And it's opened my eyes. Also made me a better person because I've recognized things I need to work on. Also make me recognize that I should value myself a little bit more and not just be, I wouldn't say so quick to give myself, but not just give myself to someone that does not want to marry. And also love who I am as a person. So for me, this time I praise God for hours. I got in the word. Realize that I do not need to be in the dating game. I tell people now, I'm not here. I'm not dating. Do not ask me. I am not in the place, because what's happening when you do fornicate with someone, you create a bond and you have to ask God to break the bond. So I asked God immediately, break the bond. Now I'm going through the purging stage after breaking the bond, because I know the bond is broken. So now I have to go through the purging stage. Because when you have a bond, you create a bond with a person when you have sexual intercourse, or just in general. Sometimes you can create a bond with a person without even having sex with them. So you have to be very mindful. You have to ask God to break that bond. People will say soul ties, but there's no such thing as soul ties in the Bible. I believe you just create bonds, fleshly bonds with people. When you have sex with them, you create a bond. You have to ask God to break the bond, and then you're free, and then you can go through that purging stage of wanting to even bond with them again, because you got to go through that stage, because you bonded with that person. So that's pretty much a unbinding thing going on here with me. And it's like, I feel like when you do that, because people, we live in this fast-paced, let's date, have sex thing, you have to give yourself time to break that bond with that person first. For me, it has to be 6 months to a year. It depends on how long you fornicated or been with that person. If you've been with the person 10 years, I believe you need to give yourself enough space, a year, 2 or 3 years, to really just break that bond with that person completely, to the point where you don't even remember why you even bonded with that person, if that makes sense. Like, because you're purging yourself through that. And I think Redefined TV says it's right. Satan has a strange way of Satan has a way of making sure you have good sex with someone that is not right for you, so you can be stuck on that person. So you can keep on reminding yourself of that experience, and that's what Satan likes to do. He likes to remind you of the experience you had with that person, so you can keep going back to that person. And that's what type of cycle I used to do when I was like really out there, like dating and stuff, and doing the dating the worldly way, and just you fornicate with a person, and you're dating for years, and you got to break that bond, and you got to purge, and then your flesh wants to give into that flesh, don't which means feed that flesh, which means to fornicate, drink whatever you have your thing is. And you have to clean that out, and I'm very good at that. That's why I lasted 2 years, because I've learned myself. I know how to purge myself from things, and my flesh will let me know I'm purging. My flesh is very irritated right now because I'm purging from it. You got to purge. You cannot feed yourself into the things. You cannot. I would recommend not contact the person that you fornicated with for a minute. Give yourself time to break that bond. Let the person know that, hey, I'm breaking this. I'm over here purging. I'm breaking my bond. My flesh. I don't need to be feeding my flesh. If that person is not respecting the fact that you're not wanting to feed your flesh, but they want to feed their flesh, you have to end up cutting them off. I'm one of those people. I will cut people off. If I'm gonna warn you one time, hey, it's not okay what you're doing here. And if you sit there and you keep pushing it, I'm going to cut you off. And it is what it is. I still be cool with you, love you from afar, because I'm not like a mean-spirited person, but I would not have you in my life hindering my process. So for me, I feel like I need to mature more spiritually, become aware and learn how to be strong enough to flee from fornication, or flee from any sin that comes my way. I know how to flee from other sins, just that fornication is very hard for me to flee from it. I have to have the strength to flee from a situation, whatever you put yourself in general, in life, and whatever you're doing in life, you have to learn to give yourself, ask God to give you strength to flee, to run, to go. That's what I need. That's all I need right now at the point in my life. I need Christian friends, a Christian home, and also learn how to flee from a sin and not just stay there. My mom told me you had to stay there. You don't have to stay there if you feel like somebody's putting you in an uncompromising situation. I have the tendency to still stay when I'm not comfortable, or if I feel like I'm putting not saying the person make me uncomfortable, but when I know for sure I feel like it's going to go too far, but still stay there. I have the tendency to still stay there when I feel like it's going too far. When in my soul, which is the spirit and the flesh things, is fighting each other, it's like the spirit is telling me, hey, this is going too far. It's weird because before I do a sin, I swear, I'm not sure about everybody else, I get this strong feeling that's telling me, hey, this is going too far. But then my flesh is like, yay, But then my spirit is like, this is going too far. I'm not sure. I'm having a spirit and flesh situation battle going on. That's why I like Galatians. I just kind of gradually went to it, which is weird. I have my little Bible, but I just went to this Galatians. I don't know why. Again, the spirit has a tendency to put you in a piece, put you in a chapter of the book of the Bible to look at that has a lot to do with what you're going through. So it's like I'm going through this spirit and flesh thing. So I feel like I need to talk about this. People say you shouldn't talk about this, but I like to document what I do. So then when I go back 10 or 20 years from now and look at my old videos and be like, wow, I actually had a fornication problem, but now I have a husband and children and married. Like, things change, and you're not going to be in the same place. You're going to mature, you're going to grow, and that's awesome. And that's why I like about my path. I'm growing, I'm maturing, and I'm recognizing I need to give myself time to mature so I can learn how to flee from sin, and not when I'm in an uncompromising situation, or if my spirit is telling me it's getting too far, I can give myself strength to leave, and not like I don't have the strength to. That's what my problem is, and I know when I'm weak, because I'll call out to God in the midst of doing something I'm supposed to be doing. I'm like, God, I don't got the strength for this. Like, I'm weak right now, and I feel like you have to start admitting when you're weak. Like, I'm weak right now. I need help. Like, I'm very straightforward with myself. As a Christian, I feel like other Christians need to learn how to own up to the fact that you feel weak. Sometimes you don't feel strong all week. It's okay. Just admit to God. You don't have to admit to other people. Admit to God, I feel weak. Like, show me something. Hey, I need some help, So that's all I got to say. That's my random thoughts. And I'm finna post some more videos. And also, I go live on Bigo. Bigo. Wait a minute. Oh, I got to turn it off.